Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
In our top stories tonight, President Museveni emphasizes development finance institutions in African transformation. Police want stakeholders in the September 3rd and 24th local council nominations to adhere to the electoral guidelines. Dr. Kiza Besigye and co-accused Haji Obed Lutale failed to appear in court to stand trial. And Uganda Railways Corporation seeks 12 billion shillings to rehabilitate locomotives.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Hello there and welcome once again. We're coming to you live online and on air from Broadcasting House here on Nile Avenue. On sign language, it is Elizabeth Nakakoni and I am Rukidi Kiijanngoma. Now, the Chief Coordinator of Operation Wealth Creation, General Kaleba Kandwanaho, also known as Salim Saleh, has urged Ugandan ambassadors to fully understand the country's economic journey from independence to the present to effectively advocate for the right resources abroad. Ugandan ambassadors posted in various countries across the world are currently meeting at Gulu University in Gulu City. Well, we are still working on that story, but let's go to the story number one, where President Yoweri Museveni has emphasized the central role of development finance institutions in Africa's transformation, urging planners and financiers to strike a careful balance between infrastructure spending and results-generating projects that draw millions of Ugandans into the money economy. Now, the President, accompanied by the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Kataha, Museveni, was opening the inaugural Uganda Development Finance Summit at the Commonwealth Resort Hotel in Munyonyo. We have more in this story.
The two-day conference hosted by Uganda Development Bank has brought together policymakers, government leaders, development financiers, the private sector and international partners to deliberate on how development finance can accelerate Africa's social and economic transformation. The President argued that national planners must carefully balance investments that yield immediate productivity with those that merely provide utility without addressing structural poverty.
From the beginning, I could see that relying on the private sector to be the one to bring money to deal with wealth creation after you have dealt a bit with the infrastructure was not correct. There was a mistake there. Because your own people did not have the savings, and they were not even saving. Even when they have money, they squander it.
The President also faulted post-independence technocrats for directing resources to social infrastructure like schools and health centers, while neglecting fundamental economic enablers like electricity and the railways.
At the beginning, I said, we need a UDB, we need an Ojangore Banang. We need a UDB, we need a government institution which is not looking for profit, to keep giving some capital, not only for infrastructure, but even for wealth creation. You know the wealth of Gaga.
Turning to the broader continental context, President Yoweri Museveni stressed that successful cities and industries need not only cheap money, electricity and transport, but also markets. At the same summit, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Honorable Matia Kasaija, said the event came at a timely moment for Uganda and Africa.
Africa has immense potential and is poised to grow faster than most regions of the world. According to the World Economic Forum, 5 of the 10 fastest growing economies globally are in Africa. In 2024, while the world economy grew at 2.7% and advanced economies at 1.7%, Sub-Saharan Africa grew at 4.1%, and Uganda achieved 6.0 growth rate.
Dr. Patricia Ojangole, the managing director of UDB, underscored that national development banks are central to building resilient and inclusive financial systems. Dr. Ojangole noted that while commercial banks channel 45% of credit to non-productive sectors like real estate, UDB directs over 80% to agriculture, manufacturing, energy, water for production, education, and health. Dennis Igor for UBC.
Thanks, Dennis, for that story there. Now let's go to that story that we had earlier on introduced, where the Chief Coordinator of Operation Wealth Creation, General Caleb Akandwanaho, also known as Salim Saleh, has urged Ugandan ambassadors to fully understand the country's economic journey from independence to the present day to effectively advocate for the right resources abroad. Ugandan ambassadors posted in various countries across the world are currently meeting at Gulu University in Gulu City.
The Ugandan ambassadors posted to different foreign missions across the world have assembled at Gulu University in Gulu City to discuss Ugandan 10-point development agendas and assess the progress of the economic and commercial diplomacy strategy for the financial year 2025-2026.
Since in modern economics, we talk of the 4 factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. We should then ask ourselves, what was the state of these factors of production at each of those stages?
General Salim Saleh, who also served as the Chief Coordinator for Operation Wealth Creation, emphasized the importance of understanding the Uganda's economic dynamic to make informed decisions about what resources to lobby for on behalf of the countries.
CDS is not going to work unless you align yourselves with the factors of production. Now, if they are absent, then you have problems. Now, as OWC, we have also been studying the effects of those izations. Ization, colonization, nationalization.
Lieutenant General Philip Idro, special advisors for Operation Wealth Creation, noted that while Ugandans still believe that agriculture is the country's main exports, the reality is shifting towards mining and other emerging sectors is also important.
While most of you are thinking in terms of agriculture, which is the mainstay, but that's only now 24%. The main exports, for instance, is gold, tourism, what's the other one? Remittances, and then coffee.
Idru also called on Ugandans living abroad to maintain a positive image of the country, which he says is critical towards promoting Ugandans' agro products and attracting investments.
Very varied conditions in their countries, from USA to Europe, where it's also different between Britain and Europe, and then we have Asia, all different conditions.
Meanwhile, the State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Henry Okello Riem, urged ambassadors to always defend Uganda's interests in their respective host countries.
Defending and protecting our country, and don't leave it all to the president, because most of this credit we get normally is because of the president.
During their 5 days meeting in Gulu City, The ambassadors are expected to tackle a range of key topics, including the nexus between diplomacy and international security, as well as the emerging regional and international issues. Stephen Okello for UBC Television, Gulu.
Now, police is calling upon all stakeholders involved in the upcoming local council nominations to adhere to the electoral guidelines. The Electoral Commission has scheduled the nomination of local government leaders to take place between September 3rd and 24th, 2025. Prospective candidates have been cautioned against actions that may undermine public order during the nomination process.
As the political environment intensifies ahead of the electoral process, police have urged political stakeholders to adhere to established guidelines aimed at maintaining public order. Starting September 3rd, candidates vying for various positions in local government will begin nominations as scheduled by the Electoral Commission.
If they are saying, come with verified papers, you come with verified papers. They should not be forged. Don't come with adulterated documents, because you certainly become a police client in one way or the other. And some of these things emerge. Even previous elections, you must have seen that. You find somebody does not have the right qualifications. Then when he is disorganized, he wants to bring his fights to the streets.
Police have put in place standard operating procedures for candidates traveling to district nomination centers. All candidates are expected to observe traffic regulation, and territorial police commanders are directed to ensure public order.
You are not alone. For instance, the road, you are not the only road user. There are many others. If you have an urgent business to go and be nominated, others also have other businesses. People are going to hospital. People are going for other trades. People are going to look for food. So we don't want you to disrupt public order in the name of going to get nominated.
Police intend to deploy more field officers to minimize crowds and handle security breaches on different routes heading to nomination centers. In Arua, police have arrested 6 suspected Congolese nationals involved in smuggling counterfeit dollars valued at US dollars 300,000 and marijuana.
They were found with the US dollar counterfeit suspected worth 300,000 and in bundles of 100,000. So the suspects include Minike, Dudu, Mumbere Asiha.
Meanwhile, police in Kampala Metropolitan is investigating the matter of assault and robbery of the NRM mobilizer known as Full Figure.
Whoever she accuses of having assaulted her, we shall treat him or her the way we treat suspects in those offenses. We shall bring you to the police station to have an explanation against the allegations brought against you.
Police have denied having any cases against Full Figure. Those accusing her of abusive behavior are tasked to provide evidence for appropriate action.
If there are people out there who have cases against her, police stations are open. When police stations don't help you, they have their supervisors, right up to the Inspector General of Police, who is the fountain at the command. Is at the highest level of command of the police force.
The alleged assault of socialite and political figure Full Figure has stirred public debate, particularly on social media. While some accuse her of being abusive and disrespectful, others are criticizing security forces for allegedly ignoring the public concern regarding her behavior. Komagum Rogers and Abdul Nasil Wama for UBC.
The NRM Electoral Commission has started implementing the recommendations of the Elections Tribunal, which set aside some primary election results and in some cases overturned the outcome. The NRM Electoral Commission Chairperson, Dr. Tanga Odoi, told the media that there are plans for fresh elections in contested areas, as well as endorsing the tribunal ruling in areas where results were overturned.
The NRM Electoral Commission has announced that the party's topmost organs have been fully constituted.
Executives of the Central Executive Committee, executives of SEC, as we call it, there are 9 positions. All the 9 have been filled. Presidential flag bearer, we have 1 position, it is filled.
To the special interest groups, the party says the process is not yet complete.
Executive committees of special organs, the youth, the PWD, the older persons, they must elect 10 delegates. We have so far elected 80. We are remaining with 18.
Addressing media on Monday at the party headquarters on Kedon Road in Kampala, the NRM Electoral Commission Chairperson Dr. Tanga Odoi elaborated on the youth and entrepreneurs polls.
Youth, we elected the chairperson. Once election is done, there is a petition. But that does not count election until the tribunal rules. So we elected chairperson of youth. We also, through consensus and negotiation with the chairman, the Entrepreneurs League got a chairperson, who is none other than Haj Hassan Basaja Balaba.
For the election petitions filed to the NRM tribunal, Odoi has announced that elections for specific areas in contention are to be organized.
The tribunal recommended that we repeat elections in some constituencies. For instance, woman member of parliament, we have to repeat elections in 56 villages. In Ntungamo, municipal elections were held. Honorable Yona Kanyomozi is a leading candidate with 65%. Actually, we had even declared him a winner because the other remaining villages are 7. But tribunal has said we must repeat the 7 so that they vote, and we shall do it, but it does not change the winner.
In areas where results were overturned, the party has complied by this announcement.
Tribunal overturned results where we had given a flag, they found it was not genuine, and they overturned the flag. Where are these? Terego West. The new flag bearer is Dramviro Eric Sabiti. That's the new flag bearer. He had petitioned and he won the petition. Bunya South. There we are declared Idi Isabirie. The tribunal overturned that after tallying, and they declared Pata Saleh.
Odoi has, however, reminded all party flag bearers at all levels that it is the party Secretary General Richard Odong who will clear them for the general elections.
All flag bearers who won as MPs and LOC5s must speak letters of notification to present to the Secretary General for their endorsement as flag bearers for nomination.
Robert Onyango, UBC News.
President Yoweri Museveni has condoled with the family of former Minister Vincent Nyanzi upon the death of his mother, Demetria Nachiwala Makumbi, who has been laid to rest at Nachibanga village in Mityana district. President Museveni's message was delivered by the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja.
91-year-old Demetria Nachiwala Makumbi, mother to former Minister Vincent Nyanzi, an NRM stalwart, was this evening laid to rest at Nakibanga village in Mityana district. Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, delivered President Yoweri Museveni's message.
Mama Janet and I learned with profound sadness of the passing on of the mother of Honorable Nyanzi Vincent Makumbi. On behalf of government, on behalf of the NRM party, and on my own behalf, I extend heartfelt sympathies to Honorable Nyanzi Vincent upon the loss of your dear mother. I also wish to commiserate with Mzee Benedicto Makumbi and the entire bereaved family. It is my prayer that God grants you the strength and courage to go through this moment of grief and sorrow. The loss of your mother has left a big gap. Our wise counsel and guidance will be deeply missed. The NRM fraternity stands with you as you mourn the demise of your mother. May her soul rest in eternal peace. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda.
Her husband, Benedict Makombi, described his late wife as a honest person for the last 75 years in marriage. Dimitria Nachiwala gave birth to 18 children, and Vincent Nyanzi is the eldest son in the family. Vincent Nyanzi recently won the NRM flag to represent Busuju constituency again. He commended Prime Minister Robina Nabanja for the directive she made to upgrade the road from Mitiana to Manyi.
Wabanga asobola okugamba Prime Minister tibatukolera oluguudo, Prime Minister n'akolerawo, n'agamba njagala amasannyalaze n'akolerawo. Kaakati gwatamwagala oyagala ki? Kiki ky'oyagala?
We'll now take a short break and return with much more. Do stay with us.
Big thing about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. Wali yakapia. MTN kabo the Super mustai rompia. Then you kabo the smartphone nevi yakabibiona. Wali yakapia. MTN kabo the Super mustai rompia. Then you kabo the smartphone nevi yakabibiona.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest mpora in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply.
MTN.
MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
At UNOC, we believe in safety.
Revered as the patrons of the wild, my horn stood tall, announcing my presence among Africa's Big Five. Yet, with all my strength, I struggled to survive. Then Uganda Wildlife Authority gave us something, a safe home at the Ziwa Rhino Sanctuary. And here we begin to thrive again. Today, we are 48 members strong, with 17 cows, ready to take our unique story into the future. This is your lifetime opportunity to name a rhino, and with it, find the conservation efforts that keep our story alive. For more information, visit our website, www.ugandawildlifeauthority.org.
Amanya gange nze Mugerwa John Bulega mbeera wa Anthony Mukono wano mu kifo kyennyini we mpangulidde pikipiki eno kakati bakama bange engeri gye mpanguddemu pikipiki eno bakama baffe ab'MTN bazze ne promotion eno yakola tune era mbadde ndi mu kulya kamere ne ŋŋamba kangezesa omukisa gwange ne mpita kiyambi wa MTN nannyambako nanteerako nusu 10 ku akawunti yange eya MTN eya layini yange nangulira akakola tune angulidde kanneeyanziza naŋŋamba aguze kashiba era bw'amaze okungulira akakola tune akakashiba ne bakwata ennamba ne bagitaba mu bululu bwentyo MTN olw'okuba nti mbadde muwanguzi wempangulidde mu kunyeenya nempita mu kalulu wentyo nempita mu bakama bange era nga neeyanziza nnyo neeyanzege ddala MTN oye MTN kyaddala ebya MTN byaddala ensi eraba enjuba ekyayaka piki ndikutte misana neeyanziza nnyo ddala ab'MTN.
Coffee Spirit, Simba Gin. Coffee Spirit, Simba Gin. Check out the cup. SMS the code. Wamule bilabo. Tulaga manyi. Karuka sita wabuza.
Masaba maji.
We call him Masavu ne Premier Distilleries. Simply buy Coffee Spirit or Simba Gin. Check under the cap, send the code to 6688 and stand a chance to win border borders, tuk-tuks, cash, airtime, flat screens, mobile phones and a grand prize of 50 million Uganda shillings. This promotion is valid for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply. Alcohol is not for sale to persons under 18. Please drink responsibly.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our
Honorable Fred Biamukama, Minister of State for Works and Transport in charge of transport, invites you to the second phase of the 4-acre model campaign in Greater Bunyoro sub-region. The event will take place at Nalweyo Primary School Playground, Behimba Road, on Saturday, 20th September 2025 at 10 a.m. and will be graced by His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni. All residents, civil servants, and leaders from the districts that make up Greater Hoima, Greater Masindi, Greater Chibale, and neighboring areas are encouraged to attend in large numbers. This initiative, led by the President, aims to bring ordinary people into the money economy by showcasing farmers who have succeeded in the 1-acre model, 2-acre model, 3-acre model, and 4-acre model. Join local leaders and residents in learning how small land can be used to enhance food security and socio-economic growth. Don't miss this opportunity to witness the transformative impact on local communities.
Welcome back, and in business we're now going to have a watch on Buza Kamisona, where the Commissioner General of Uganda Revenue Authority, Musinguzi Rujoji, will be here to tell us, to answer some of the queries that the general public has sent to him. Take a watch.
Buza Kamisona.
Welcome once again to Buza Commissioner program. Dear listeners, the first question today we have is from Mr. Musana of Katwe, and it goes like this. How does banning groupage cargo clearance protect small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive? Thank you, Musana, for this question, but I need to clarify that URA has not banned clearance of groupage cargo. There is no way we can do that because we are mindful that many traders cannot fill containers on their own, and therefore they come in groupage. But the word that you used at the end of your question, which is consolidation, is the right word to use to explain the changes we have made. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Container leaders is an illegality that has been happening for many years. When traders come together to carry their goods in one container, that is called consolidation. When the container arrives here in our bonded warehouses, the requirement of the law is that the cargo is then deconsolidated to the individual traders. And that process of deconsolidating cargo and every importer having their own goods to clear directly with URA is what they refer to as individual house bills. So cargo is first consolidated from the source, transported to Uganda jointly, and once it has arrived in our bonded warehouses, it should be deconsolidated, and every individual taxpayer takes on now the task of declaring the goods they've imported, paying the taxes on those goods, and taking them to their businesses. Now, what has been happening that is irregular and illegal is that those goods come consolidated in a cargo, and once they reach here, one person postures to be the owner of all the goods, and this is the person they refer to as container leader. So he declares the goods as his, he clears them all under his tin or her tin, and he pays taxes on behalf of the many people who are in that container, and he takes them to his or her warehouse, and then from there, he starts charging taxes with, of course, additional charges, because no one would do that pro bono without any additional charge, plus additional charges to the individual importers. And why is this process dangerous, or why have we stopped it? One, while he's clearing the goods, being assessed, he's doing it all alone on behalf of the many traders in the container. So it is up to him to tell them the truth of the taxes he has paid and ask for some interest or whatever top-up he wants, and determine what to charge them. Now, but as human beings are, the selfishness has been increasing, so they pay here 100 million in URA, they go and collect from the many people in their container 200 or 300 million. So there has been an element of exploitation. But also because they had turned it a business, because if you're consolidating and importing on behalf of so many people, there's definitely a lot of work. So they import, they go back, they import many containers. Sometimes they make mistakes in the declarations, and once they are caught under-declaring, misdeclaring, undervaluing, then, and there are fines, they transfer these, they are fined, they transfer these fines to the individual importers in their containers. And then, of course, even sometimes they abandon these goods. They don't diligently clear them out, either because they are cash strapped, they are looking for money to pay for taxes, they don't have it, or they've been caught in some crime of under-declaration, or any other thing like that. They abandon these containers to the detriment of traders. They tell them the goods are still on the high seas, the goods are stuck in Mombasa, the goods are not being cleared by URI, all sorts of excuses. So that middleman layer called container leaders had become an obstacle to the process of clearing, of assessing and collecting right taxes, but also to the traders who are being exploited with unexplained charges.
Buza Commissioner. Now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887, and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them.
Buza Commissioner segment brings us to the end of this first edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. Thank you so much for keeping us company on sign language. It has been Elizabeth Nakakoni, and I am Rukidi Kiijanngoma. But coming up next here on UBC TV is the Front Bench with Jethro Kasaiji. And we understand he's going to be talking to the Minister for Finance, Mr. Matia Kaseja, who is also flanked by the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Finance, Ramadan Gobi. And also tonight here on the front bench is the Commissioner General of Uganda Revenue Authority, John Musinguzi. Over to you, Jethro.
Well, thank you so much, Kija. Well, like you have mentioned, the poster that we did put out earlier on our social media handles, actually, we did think we shall have the Minister for Finance and Economic Planning, that is Honorable Matia Kasaija, as well as the Permanent Secretary, as well as the Secretary to Treasury, that is Ramadan Gobi. The two are not here with us because of other engagements, but of course I do have the top guns still who are going to be taking the topic away when it comes to issues strengthening our domestic revenue here in Uganda. Like you mentioned earlier, we do have the Commissioner General of URA, that is Mr. Musinguzi John. Good to have you on the show, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, he is not alone. I also do have the Director Economic Planning from the Ministry of Finance, that is Mr. Kagwa Moses. Good to have you on the show, Director.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we shall be understanding quite a number of things. What exactly needs to be done by our country to ensure that we reduce, actually, or stop on that reliance of external aid as well as that debt? It is very important. I do understand most of you have very many questions that you might be asking, why this, why that, but of course the Commissioner General and the Director from the Ministry of Finance will be answering most of your questions. So kindly use that hashtag on our X, that is at UBC TV, but the hashtag is UBC Frontbench. I am Jethro Kasaiji. Let's get started.
Oh, Uganda.